Citizens of Earth, we are anonymous. We do not forgive. We do not forget. Well, we do forget, but only if we get really, really, really high. And sometimes we forgive. Like when one of us forgets to put his ridiculous mask on before he defecates on a police car, and there was this other time when my mom didn't shut her bedroom door. And I had to make breakfast for some strange drunk dude, but that's not important right now. We are a bunch of bored, misguided kids. We don't know our asses from a hole in the ground. We have tested this theory, and it must be true. Otherwise, how else would we believe that an anarchist society could sustain itself without eventually facilitating its own destruction? Remember that time when we declared war on ISIS? That was cool. We were super high on ecstasy that day. It felt really awesome to declare war on someone after we made it very clear that wars only happen because of rich people. Where was I? Help me out. Oh yeah, anarchy. In order for a lawless population to survive, there would have to be way more strong, intelligent and resourceful people. They would have to outnumber idiots by about 10 to 1, wouldn't they? Even though we're really good at math, it may be a good idea for some of us to explore life in other houses, or in neighborhoods where their parents don't continue to feed and change them past the age of reason, which we think is 30. We have seen this world on television, and on YouTube. But we don't live there. We just look at it and offer uneducated ideas, opinions and rhetoric from below the kitchen floor while our aging ancestors bitch about global warming from their lawn chairs in the backyard. When we were children, we would wet our beds and cry when the kids at school took our lunch money and put our heads into the most unpleasant places. Nobody would ever invite any of us to do anything fun, because most of us were told by relatives that we were special. We were given cute names like Brayden and Caleb. I even know one guy who they call Cody. He's black, forgive my ADD, so yay. Most of us have never met in person. We only communicate around a loose Skype schedule. We are surprisingly disorganized and individually sociopathic. When you thinking about it, if you were to see us for who we really are, the similarities between us and ISIS are quite striking. I mean, we mostly hate the same things, we mostly want the same things like to destroy existing governments and economic systems, and we kind of do use similar tactics, such as wearing silly clothing, and hiding our faces behind these retarded masks. Plus there is the whole thing where we try to convince your ignorant children that to protest and obstruct lawful events and intimidate citizens for attention and power. I have to admit that most of the time, they don't even know why they're there. Even we don't know how we do that, but we sure get a kick from it. So to put a point on this message, we are erroneous. We are morons, pussies, and limp-knuckled academics. We live in an alternate fantasy world where we rule and you bow to us. Please stop taking our educant advice. And do your part by making informed decisions without our direction. You have all the information of the entire history of this planet glued to your face every day. Guns are 18th century technology. They can't make you defenseless until they make you senseless. The First and Second Amendments are there to protect you from your own government. Always note who schemes to restrict your rights before voting. It is you. Now fuck off, loser.